1-0 is always great. A lot better than 0-1. So I think now we're very pleased with the victory and the way our kids played. Yeah, we felt like in that second quarter, we felt like we had the game. We felt like we were going to win this game, and of course we weren't playing like it. And made too many mistakes there, and it was really frustrating. But our guys were really confident, and I think our conditioning. I think they saw the benefit of our conditioning, and we felt very, very good. They were coming off the field saying, that there weren't any, the defensive line wouldn't even get in the stands. They were already gassed, and so we felt good. It was really good for our kids to see that and know all the hard work that we've been putting in the off season and fall camp, really paid off.
Brent Peavy made his first start at quarterback, and one of the things that you don't want to see as a quarterback in your first start is to have an interception return for a touchdown early in the game. But boy, he really responded.
He sure did. That says something about the character of the young man. When you get a guy that makes a mistake like that, really tough one, that results in points. He put it behind him, and he kind of used the idea that, hey, it's just the next play. I'm gonna take care of this next play. I got to control that. That's all I got to do. And he did that. And so that was gratifying to see. And he did make some great throws, and he's just going to get better.
The throw that stands out for me is that second touchdown pass he threw to Trey Enterline. That was a fastball, a strike at the knees. I mean, he really let that one go.
It seemed like every one of his passes are fastballs, and that's one of the things he's got to work on. He's got to understand when to throw that fastball and when to put handles on it, like we say, and he's still working there. So we've got to develop that within him, and I think he's very conscientious, and it's just I think that adrenaline was kicking in that first ball game, and so he realized he's the guy now, and so I think it slowed down a little bit for him, and that's good.
Your senior running back, Theron Jerome, went over 100 yards, and it had to be special for him in his first career start to do that.
Well, like Theron's been in the program, and it was really gratifying to see, good things happen for him, because he's been working, and I would say that first year we got here, we thought there's probably not a chance for him to play, and he showed us, he showed what hard work does and what belief and faith is all about, and he believed in himself, and he kept working hard, wanted to be a part of this program, and made great strides. I think last year, where he went against the first defense a lot and running the football and inside drills, and he realized, hey, I can be a good running back, and that's when we said, hey, he can't be a good running back because he just developed, and that was good to see.
You had two other backs that had pretty good games for you, and DeMarcus Boyd and JoJo Epps. JoJo with just 5 carries but 2 touchdowns,
right,
and DeMarcus over 60 yards and a touchdown. Talk a little bit about them. Really DeMarcus, both guys in their first varsity action.
Yeah,
JoJo
they were both two of our stable of running backs in the JVs, and our running backs in the JVs were just unbelievable last year. They did a great job of running the football. And DeMarcus has, a nift about him, and JoJo just runs over people, and he manages to find, first downs and touchdowns, and that's, the type of running back he is. He's not gonna fake anybody out, but he's gonna run over you, and he's got his pads down, and so it was good for them. JoJo's been hurt all fall camp, and so it was good to him to come back this past week and be able to help us near the goal line and short yardage stuff. So as he gets healthy, we'll probably be even better there. And of course, Dominique has been working on a hamstring, and I think he showed flashes of what he can do for us too.
Cameron Peavy went over 100 yards. You had a 100-yard receiver, 100-yard rusher. As we adjusted the stats, Brent, nearly a 300-yard passer with 293. And we were joking with Brent after the game. Your brother went over 100 yards. Was that some sort of family connection? But he said, no, he's just going through the reads. So good to see Cameron and the complement of your receivers do well.
You bet. I think, like we said before, we think Cameron's overall best receiver, and Ryan gives us that deep threat, and Lewis has all the other things, intangibles that he can do as far as running and catching, short passes and doing something with his legs and stuff. And then Colin Bodie is Mr. Steady over there, and he had a great game as well. So Then Tyler Figgle came in and provided some things, and Casey Davis. So we've got a good core of receivers, and both all of them are young, so that's a good thing.
Two other guys I want to talk about on the offense that we saw for the first time, your tight ends and fullbacks, whatever you want to call them, Trey Interline, and then Mac Pritchard-Warren. Particularly I think on the goal line touchdowns with Epps and maybe other touchdowns as well, they were really key in the blocking scheme there.
No question about it. They give us good size, and they're just both freshmen. And so, as they develop, we're fixing to be able to utilize that offense more and more.
As we go over the defensive side, your defense didn't allow a point for basically 40 minutes the rest of the game after getting down 16. And really, they only gave up 6 points, they had a touchdown and then a field goal, so they only gave up 9 points all game.
Right.
And so talk about what they did and the job your coaches did of getting those guys against an Austin College offense that was unconventional.
It was tough. You play that first ball game, and you have no film to kind of base your plan on, and so we had a general idea, and so Coach Harris, Coach Craig Harris, and myself had run the wing tee. We did a little session for the defense and tried to give them some possible things and play action passes and stuff, but still we weren't even close to some of the things that they did. So give the Austin College group credit for that. But our coaches did a great job up in the press box and coming back with a plan at halftime to be able to take advantage of what they were doing. And so we were very pleased that our guys were able to respond on the field, because without going over it, that's pretty tough on a kid. And so we had some guys miss a line, but overall I thought our defense just ran to the football. And again, I think our conditioning was a big key right there. People being in shape and running and making plays. We had several times where we had one guy, it was it, and we made the tackle, and we were fortunate to stop him. And because any one of those plays could have really broke the game open for them, because they had the momentum that first half. But our guys hung together and come up with 2 turnovers that really turned the game around for us.
Garrett Blucher ended up being credited with the 1 forced fumble, and Brad Snowden the 2 fumble recoveries. And last year you led the ASC in takeaways. And
right.
Is that something you just constantly preach? Obviously, is that something that just happens? How does it just affect you?
You got to practice it.
Yeah.
You practice. We practice turnover circuit every day with our defense, and offensively we're talking about taking care of the football, and we're really proud of our running backs taking care of the football. You carry the ball that many times and don't turn it over, and that's a good thing. So we're very conscious of that, and we believe that's one of the 2 things that you need to do in order to win. Win the turnover battle and win the explosive plays, and I think we did that. We had like a 14-6, runs of over 12 yards or passes over 16, and I think it was 14 for us, 6 for them. And when you do that, you're going to win football games.
Staying with the defense, you saw a lot of guys staying fresh on that defensive line. Some guys in particular you were pleased with on that defensive line that played well for you on Saturday?
I'll tell you what, a lot of them did. Rod Sparks was a guy that, had been getting his pads high, and I thought he did a particularly good job of getting his pads down and really competing and running. Clayton came back, and he'd been favoring that leg, and so he's still our kingpin there, and he's got to continue to do a great job for us. And then the 2 freshmen that we put in there, Andrew Serenic and Dominique Stives, I tell you what, they go in there as a freshman and plays as well as they did was very gratifying to see. Then of course our defensive ends with Fowler and Doolittle, John Martinez, all those guys did a great job, and Corbin Groby as well.
Now looking forward to Trinity, a top 25 opponent, and the Tigers well from 2 years, winning 2 years ago, losing at Trinity last year. I'm sure it's going to be another great ball game with the Tigers.
Well, we anticipate that. They're well coached, and we got a good bunch of athletes, and they had some success last year, big time success, got in the playoffs, and so we got all the respect for that football team and their coaching staff, and so we have our work cut out for us. So that's what we're doing today.